more.
This is the Fuji GF110.
Now say it in Spanish. Can you see that?
Este es el Fuji GE110.
Do it. Ooh.
This is Fuji GF120.
Okay. Now in Espanol.
Este es Fuji FX120. Sigma Art 105.
And now in Espanol.
Sigma Arte 105.
On the left, you got the Sigma 105. In the middle, you got the 110. And on the right, you have the 120 macro. I'm going to be doing a quick comparison of all three. I've got some models. You know, I'll probably just do kind of how I shoot. I'm not going to do like a test chart. I'm just going to do like how I actually shoot in the studio chart. Around f8, you know, see how they compare. Yep, been waiting to do this a long time. Okay, so I traded in some old gear. I was able to get the GF110 finally. It was supposed to be epic and awesome. I doubt it's all that. I don't think it's going to be any different from the Sigma 105 with the Fringer adapter on there, or the 120 macro. I'm going to see if it, you know, where it sits in between the two, besides focal length. Quality-wise, we'll see how good it does. I'm not expecting much difference between any of them, honestly. My test before, the 120 was just a tiny bit sharper, but this had a little more character in the contrast and color than the 120. I'm guessing this will probably be right in the middle of the two. I'm hoping. But we'll see, maybe it'll surprise me. Although the first pics I've taken, I've looked at it and my immediate thought was like, yeah, it's a little better. It's more complete. It's just the pictures are more clear to me. I wouldn't say sharper, it's just they're more clear than the 120. There's just more clarity there. It's like the glass is less foggy. I know that sounds ridiculous. But I'm going to do a deep dive into the pics. We'll compare them back and forth. I'll send you guys the raw files that you can download. And you know, you can decide for yourself between the three which one's the best. And I'm excited to see what we got. I've shot 3 different models with all the lenses, and you know, we can really dive in and see. Actually 4. I think I got 4 models. So yeah, we got a lot of research to do. All right, GFX guys and medium format enthusiast. Let's see what's up. So this is Veronica, a friend of mine from Nashville. Went and saw her there. Just set up an umbrella and then started shooting. Just wanted to get these done real quick. This is kind of my test shots I used. So I just ran through it. This is the 110. This is the 105. That's the 120. Now, this was all back to back to back, like real quick. So one thing I noticed immediately is the 120 is way brighter at the same time. This was all at f9. That's f9, that's f9, and that's f9. So these two are pretty similar. That's way brighter, and this was kind of consistent. So I've noticed that the macro, the 120 macro, seems to let more light in at f9 at least, or f8 too. And one thing we noticed right away is that, you know, the 110 here is way warmer than the 105 Sigma or the 120. But also you got to think too, the 120 is letting more light in, so that kind of changes color a little bit too, I've noticed. So that's the 105, 110. I mean, I think we can all say the 110 is, yeah, it's a little more pleasing and natural looking. These other ones are real magenta. This is just 5600 coming right out of the camera, so I didn't really adjust anything. That's 5600, and that's shooting with the Godox 2400 P2400, which should be pretty accurate. I don't really think it's the light that's doing it. I think it's definitely the lens and camera combinations. Probably something to do with the software. I don't know. I doubt it's the lens making that big of a color change, but that light difference is crazy. And I noticed that it was like that, and I took 3 test shots each. All 3 of them were that bright. Same with this. They're all the same color too. Now if we want to kind of zoom in, scope for sharpness or clarity or whatever, let's go there. You know, the 110 just looks freaking fantastic all around. It's very even. Just, I couldn't ask for much better. I mean, you can just see, you know, she's Venezuelan, she's Latina, so I guess she wants to green her eyes up a little bit to go with her hair.
She's pretty awesome. But look at that, you can see the detail on her contacts, her eyelashes, all that. So kind of back off there. It's the 105, the Sigma. Sorry about that. Or not sorry, whatever. Yeah, you go. The 110 is definitely a little sharper, it's clearer. You can see what I'm talking about. I mean, is it noticeable enough to really care? Probably not, but if you want, it's just got more clarity and more contrast than 110 does. It really does. I really didn't think it would, because that Sigma is just built like a tank. It's such a beautiful, wonderful lens. But it does. It definitely has more contrast and more pleasing. The rendering's better, the resolving better, the sharpness is better, the clarity is better, in my opinion. Now, are they both awesome? Yeah, they're both great, but the 110 just punches up. All right, let's go to the 120. 120 just surprisingly letting all this light in. It's almost like half a stop or a full stop more, almost half a stop more. It's crazy. All right, Miss Veronica. So let's go there to the 105. Yeah, it's sharper. Yeah, it's a little sharper than 105. I already kind of knew that. I did that before. More contrast. It also might just because it's brighter, but to me it has more dimension. Got a little more dimension than the 105, just barely, but more. Then you go here, and that's just got, you know, the 110 I think just owns both of them. To me, I mean, we're looking at micro things here, but you know that's why we get into medium format of those. It's for us to do this kind of pixel peeping stuff. If you just look the rendering, the depth, the dimension, it's just got more pop. It just comes out more in the 110. It really does. Overall, the 110 looks just more pleasing. It really does. Everyone was right. Everything I've heard said, people were all correct. Everything online was pretty spot on. All the pixel peepers were right. So boom. Good job, pixel peepers. So this is another test I did. This is Michaela. This is Mick. Yeah, right there's the 120. You can already tell it's brighter, right? That's the biggest difference I'm noticing is the 120 lets in way more light than the other two. That's the 110. And this is the 105. 105, I didn't get, I was hurrying, so the perspective's a little different, but bear with me. Yep, 120, 110, 105. I kind of like the 120 here a little more, but that's just because it's, you know, maybe the pushing the strobe a little, getting more light out of it just kind of created the better color that I liked. But if we zoom in, we'll do that. Kind of a theme today with these. Never mind. Anyway, okay, we'll zoom in there. 105. Okay, come in a little more. Okay, zoom in here with the 120. Is that too big? That's about right. So the 120 is brighter. But yeah, look at that. You can look, and if you look at the catch lights, so that's a para there, zoomed out. That's a para halfway in, I think, up top. These are both 88 centimeter paras. Just look at that eye, and then look at this eye. Maybe it's no, because the eyelash too is still a little softer too. So yeah, you're just getting more clarity out of the 110. Oddly, the color seems more yellow there, more magenta there. I don't know. Something's going on with my color, I guess. I mean, that's all fixable and, you know, raw, no problem. Yeah, again, same thing. I'm getting the same thing, just a more clarity, more contrast, and more dimension. Same thing, just, you know, I would put this third. I would put this Sigma third. Barely. These are all just right on top of each other, but, and again, I'm at F9, F8, so this is just for me. It's not, I'm not really a wide open shooter very often. It's not something I do, but in my studio, I want to just see how it performs, how the way I shoot, which most of the time F8, F9, 7.1, that kind of thing. And the way that eye is just more glassy and more poppy. It's just, I would pick that overall. They're all fantastic, as usual. But yeah, the 110, I believe, is better. And you guys can download the RAWs and tell me if you agree or disagree. The 110 is just a pinch better than the other two. Just a pinch. And then I put the 120 second and the 105 third, barely, which is crazy because the 105 was meant for full frame and it punches up that hard. Which is why I'm begging Sigma to start making GFX lenses. I sent him a message. I was like, "Are you guys going to make GFX lenses?" And the guy was like, "No." He just straight up said no. The Sigma US guy. I was like, okay. And then like a couple months later, the Sigma CEO came out and said, "We are interested in pursuing. We want the best glass. We'll do medium format." That was all we got out of that. But anyway, yeah. Pretty much what everyone says is true. The 110 is the best. It's really just that's just a pleasing, 110's the best. Can't really disagree with them. Okay, so I went out with Autumn today. Just was gonna try to use some other lenses besides the 110, but since I've got it, I don't want to use really any other lens. I really, really like this lens. It's as good as advertised. Autofocus is slower than, I should have said that. Autofocus is slower than the 105 and the 120. 120 is the fastest moving. It's all over. It's really fast and snappy. The 105 is clunky. It has this weird, you can like see the flash in the frame, so it's like kind of behind or something. I guess there's a delay with the Fringer. Doesn't matter though. The lens moves really fast and it's faster than the 110. The 110 moves fast enough. It's not great, but since GFX, the new one, the second one, and the updated firmware, they're all really good, except the 80s can be frustrating at certain distances and apertures. So the 110 is way better than the 80. So the 110 is like just behind the 105 speed wise, and the 105 is awesome because I guess it has those big motors in there, the Sigma. 110's plenty good though. I have no complaints with it. Shooting medium format can't be too. You can't expect that Sony. And honestly, since I switched to Fuji, I can't stand looking at the A7R5 images or like the 61 megapixels. It's just not. It's just a little crusty. It's not the same. You get kind of spoiled. So yeah, we were in the middle of the day. Dead overhead light, so I'm really fighting that right now, which is fun. I like fighting light. I'm not a big, sunset golden hour shooter. I think that's lame. Anyone can do that. But if you can fight overhead sun, then you're getting some skill. I enjoy it. Plus it adds some diversity. So we got ran off. Someone said it was like a residential boat dock, which was a load of crap. I know it wasn't. But I never want to start anything with people. I just say, hey, it's your world, I just live in it. And I leave. So we ended up here. It's good. She got some rest a little more. It's obviously a little more cloudy now, which is kind of better. I'll be able to edit these better. I shoot a lot, but she did good. There's probably a billion bangers in here. Yep. Good job. This is what the softbox is compared to the para too, so obviously the softbox isn't going to do as much work as the para does. But she looks beautiful. She did really good. I'm always moving it around too. You got to experiment. Shoot. That looks really great. Nice and sharp there. So with the softbox. Good job, girl. Oh, let's see. Just, let them do their thing. I'm more of a spontaneous guy. I like to capture moments, and I don't like to copy shots or something, choppy poses. I like to really kind of stumble into our own thing. And I'll find a few in here that I really like. I always do. I never don't. I threw her in the water there. I was like, you're getting in. She's so skinny. I let her freeze. Poor thing. Okay, what else do we got? So I got through this 110. Like I said, I just loved it. I couldn't get off the lens. Then we went back to change. We found a bulldozer. These are wide open, so yeah, I can show you what wide open looks like on this thing, which is pretty spectacular. It really did a great job focusing wide open. I was really impressed with this. Much, much better than the 80 and better than the 105 too. So its accuracy was better. Really good shooting wide open. I was really impressed. So Fuji, it's just weird the nuances you notice between different lenses, the way they perform. Come on, yeah, that's just really great for wide open, full body, like, yeah. And I'm just, I'm not even trying, I'm just letting the camera do the work. Yeah. Look, it's like, that's what's cool about the new GFX, like pretty much every shot is pretty close now, pretty in focus, especially wide open. That's just so good. Really happy with that. Okay, let's go back. I think I just put this kind of butterfly right overhead and I snuck in there. Just make sure I get a little catch lights, then I can, yep, they're there. As long as you have those, you did all right, I think. Cool. And you can tell she's feeling better. She starts waking up too. We had a good day. She was really nice that day. Okay. Let me see here. Find something good. Good job, Miss Autumn. Take you through this shoot. It's Memorial Day, by the way, so the boats are starting to get out. It was a pretty dreary Memorial Day, which is awesome for me. Less people. Yeah, nice and sharp. Very good. Full body is. Oh, I just threw the softbox on the ground, pointed out, which is kind of a no-no, but when they go on the ground, you really don't want to miss your catch lights, especially when they have fake eyelashes, so you really have to get pretty low. Yeah, good job on it. Very good, sweetie. Yeah, see, that just works. Normally, because I'm kind of shooting up with the light, but it works here. Definitely works good. I think we went actually shot a little horizontal too at some point here. She's really improved on her posing since we first started too. I'm really proud of her. Yeah, we went vertical. Cool. Sorry, it's like these are massive files on my poor computer. I just keep shooting sometimes anyway to hurry them up. Come on, loady. Yeah, looks great. Cool. Get her in there. Cool. See how this is looking. Yeah, I did pretty good there. Yeah, get my angle right. Usually you want to shoot lower at full body, and I did finally. Can't be lazy all the time. And yeah, she did have something going on in her cheek that's reflecting. It's like probably glitter or something. I don't know. A lot of girls have that. You'll see it in their makeup or something. I only see that medium format. You can get that much detail to see stuff like that. Alright, and this was wide open towards the end. So, and without any flash, which I just wanted to do for you guys, really. Get that vibe, that kind of obviously requires more editing when you do that, I would think, But it looks great, dude. Like, I was really impressed with the accuracy of the autofocus wide open on this lens. I usually like shooting at like f8, f11, f13, really stop down on these kind of beachy shoots. I'm not, really kind of overpower in the sun. That way you don't lose the background. But I don't like using filters because I think they make the skin look weird a lot of the time, polar filters and stuff. So I've learned to just stop the aperture down. It looks great to me. Ooh, that's nice. That's pretty cool. I love it when their hair's in the way sometimes. Just adds that nice attitude. Look at that. It still nailed her eye. Hair's out of focus. That's pretty sick, huh? Good job. She's probably freezing right now. She's been going too long. Is that my last one? That's a good one to end on, right? Let's end on a good one there. Should go. Come on, man. Let's find that one I really liked. Yeah, I like that one. That's cool. Probably looks sick black and white, huh? Let's try. What's this? Black and white. Color? Black and white. Let's try that. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway. Thanks, dudes.